Eric met Lain yesterday. Got to introduce Vice President Biden. Just wanted to ask you about that. What kind of honor is that for you and your team?
Oh, man, that's an honor for Eric. First of all, that they would ask him to do that. That just speaks to who he is and how he's been raised. His dad is a career military man, and so love you, Christian. So he's that's pretty special. Really pretty special honor, and it was a great honor to be asked to do it. But the job that he did was amazing. When the vice president walks up to you and says, "Hey, don't forget who I am when you become president," that's a pretty strong statement. But I'm proud of Eric. He represents himself and his family, and certainly our program in this university the right way. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was the president of Clemson one day. I mean, he's got those type of qualities, and because he's a great leader.
What kind of leader has he been for this team this year? What has he done to step up and take that role?
He's been amazing. Because he's just the epitome of all in. I mean, in the weight room, in the classroom, in the community, on campus. He's on the SAC committees. I mean, he does a part of everything. And then, when we have our leadership meetings, he's always one of the guys that is going to have something to say. He's that guy that maybe a player that's maybe not as comfortable, they're going to go to Eric, and he's just been tremendous. He's a fifth-year senior that has worked really, really hard, and he's just very confident. And he has played great for us all year long. So he's led in every sense of the word, and it's made a difference. That's been to me the key to our success. Is we've been able to keep the team focused because of the type of leadership we have, and certainly Eric's a big part of that.
Did he exhibit those qualities even before he was a starter?
Yeah, absolutely. He's much more than just a football player. Eric McLean he's a big time winner in life.
The news came out right after your press conference yesterday. What do you think of the SI cover?
Well, I thought it was pretty cool. Tim sent me a picture of it, and it's a pretty neat thing. I mean, it just means you're having a good season. That's about it. Hopefully that we can be on there a few times. It'd be great. Hopefully we give him something to want to continue to talk about around here. But I'm happy for Deshaun. I mean, I guess they got to put somebody on there, and I think he's playing as well as anybody in the country. As I said, he's definitely, in my opinion, the best quarterback and very well maybe the best player. Must be a slow news day, I guess. I don't know. We're working our way up. See if we can keep going that way.
Y'all been all the news, though, it seems like. I mean, what's that like that everybody talk about you, even just regular people?
Well, I mean,
not sports.
Regular people. Well, I think it's great. I mean, it's great that our brand is being recognized as one of the best, and if not the best, and that's what we've been working toward forever. But it's really a lot of people just recognizing things that we've known for a long time, that this is a special place. It's a great place. It's a wonderful university. There's an unbelievable passion here. There's great people in all facets of this university. No perfect people, but just great people that love this university and try to do everything they can to make it better. And it takes all of that to really build a great program. And we've been winning for a while. This isn't our first time to win. First time maybe we've been 9-0. Only the third time in the history of our school. So that's brought a little extra love, I guess, from other people. But I'm just happy for the Clemson folks. I'm happy that they, just like I had a gentleman come to practice today, Mr. Gardner, who came here in 1945. He still got his ring on. He had his orange pants on with his Tiger paws. He's been to 70 straight Clemson, South Carolina games. I mean, just amazing. But that's what Clemson's all about. And to see our fans be able to, be so excited about a place that they love is to me the coolest thing.
this is the first time you've been able to host a recruiting weekend as a #1 team. Was there a different buzz around the weekend, and have you been able to see a difference yet with what's happened this season?
It was an amazing weekend. We had so many, guys that we consider the cream of the crop that were here, and it was packed. But I mean, I just think the biggest thing is just the way the crowd was. I mean, it was electric. I mean, I don't know another word for the way our crowd was. You could just feel it, and so I think obviously young people, when they're trying to choose a place to go, football's not the only part of the equation, or at least it shouldn't be, in my opinion. But it's definitely, the game day atmosphere is certainly one of the things that should matter, and nobody does it better than right here. I mean, it's special. So it was great, but we won the game, and that was the main thing. That was the objective, was to find a way to win the game, because when you win, most of the time everything else kind of takes care of itself.
Over the week, Maverick Morris still taking first team reps.
Yeah.
Right, good.
Mm-hmm.
And then who backs up Artavis at this point going into the series?
G-Hop plays 2 and 5 position, so he bounces back and forth between those two. He's played both, so he and Artavis will be at that spot, and Travion and Renfro will be at our 5-man, and Dion and Sharon will be at the 9-man. So
you expect that G-Hop will have to play some at that spot, not just be a backup, because it's a hard
he's
spot.
played every game. I mean, I don't know that he's played less than 30 snaps a game. I mean, he plays a ton.
As far as spelling Artavis, though, not having him out there for every snap.
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what position he's. Like I said, G-Hop's probably played 30+ plays every game. It doesn't matter whether he's at 5 or 2. We play all those guys. I mean, none of those guys can play. We snapped the ball 86 times last week. We can't. Ain't no wideout going to play 80-something snaps. All those guys at receiver play a lot. They all play a lot. So yeah, he's going to play a ton.
Coach, on the subject of the brand and recruiting, you're getting ready. This is going to be the 4th time in Clemson history playing the state of New York. How big are the benefits of extending that reach, playing in the state of New York? And are those sort of mitigated at all by the fact that you're #1 in the country now? And you got guys like Rex Ryan, proud Clemson dad, promoting your program.
Well, I think when Syracuse came in the league, it was one of the things about them, I think, being invited is just the footprint that it gave the ACC. I mean, the amount of households, TV households, that I think we got more TV households than any conference out there, to be honest with you, with our footprint. And it's a neat trip. I mean, it really is. I had never been there until 2 years ago, and it's really an excellent venue, and it's unique, it's different. That's what's cool about college football, I think, is you have a lot of these guys that they get an opportunity, for a lot of them, the first time in their lives, for a lot of them, get an opportunity to travel around and see places they probably would have never seen. And I mean, I'm 45. I'd never been to Syracuse, and a lot of these guys, 18, 19, 20 years old, getting a chance to go see different parts of the country is always a neat thing. But this is a place that has a great tradition. They have a big time tradition at Syracuse. And the venue is one of the more unique ones in college football, in the Carrier Dome. So, in fact, we'll stop off there on the way to the hotel and just kind of check it out, because we got a lot of guys that have never been there. I wasn't going to do that, but I was thinking, well, all these guys have been there. And I started counting up. I'm like, man, we got about 50 guys of the 72 that hadn't been there. So we'll probably spend about 10 minutes just kind of walk around and then head on to the hotel when we land.
You going to take measurements like they did in Hoosiers?
No.
Adrian Baker told us earlier this week that he thought about transferring. How did you convince him to stay, and how has he matured since then?
I didn't convince him. I just told him the truth. He just made a decision that young guys get impatient. That's just the way it is. Especially when you're a good player. But he wasn't ready. As Robbie Caldwell says, a lot of these guys want to get married, but they don't want to date. That's a Robbie Caldwell-ism for you. There's a process, that I mean, Nikki and David, y'all dated a while before you got married, didn't you? I mean, it's just better that way.
4 years.
It's just better, you know. It just that's a good thing. And you know, when you're and Adrian was physically not ready, very gifted, very talented, but physically not ready. And it's just like Jay Guillermo. I mean, you know, 2 years ago we couldn't get him to call the front. You know, he didn't know the difference between over front, under front. He you know, it just. But now he knows everything. He knows everything, and he's able to communicate it all. So now his confidence, and so his ability shines through. And it's the same thing. Some guys are just physically further along. Christian Wilkins, and then the mental part of it comes a little easier for him too. And that's a pretty special situation right there. Then you have a guy like Albert Huggins who physically is ready, but you know, he's learned a new position, and the transition hasn't been as easy. Going to be a phenomenal player. And Adrian is a guy that, just like that, he came in here with a great skill set, but really not ready physically or mentally. And a lot of times, guys, they want shortcuts, and they want things to be a little easier than they are. And just that's not the real world. And I think he finally just realized, okay, he made a decision that, hey, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to go to work. And you know, he's got a bright future. There's no question. Got a bright future in front of him. And so, you know, you just try to talk to him, give him examples of who. You know, I used to tell him, I was like, you know, hey, Cody Sensabaugh didn't start here in his 5th year, and he was drafted in the 4th round. And he started about every year in the NFL. Sure, I'm glad he didn't give up. You know, there's a time and a place for everything, and most of the time, if these guys will stick with it and they're truly about the right things, then their time's going to come. You know, Adrian has put the work in, and he's really improved. He's making an impact for us this year, and you know, he's still got a couple more years to go. So I think he's a developing guy that has a chance to you know, keep playing.